is not because they don't want it. It's not because you need motivation to do it. It's because you don't even know where to start because you haven't developed a plan for yourself. And if you don't have that structure for yourself and for your plan, then you can't expect to get very far.
What's good, baby?
It's all good, baby. And it's all good as we start 2026.
I was going to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm sure this won't be out for another month or so.
Well, still Happy New Year to us.
Happy New Year either way. First podcast of 2026.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good year.
It's going to be a fucking awesome year, no doubt. And what we're here to do today is recap our 2025 with some questions that ChatGPT was nice enough to come up with for us.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
And talk about what we have coming up in 2026, because it's been like easily the dopest, most fun, most adventurous, wildest builder, creator year of our life. And we feel like there's plenty to be said and plenty to be said as far as what we want to do next.
Yeah, and like viewers and listeners have been able to like follow along for like the majority of it. We were as best as we could consistent with the podcast towards like the last quarter of the year, towards the last. I mean, we were for in the beginning, and then like the last quarter of the year, right? 6 months of the year.
Probably the last half of the year.
Yeah.
We've had like 3 episodes since
that were just us,
July,
right?
I think, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, because it's been a lot, and like having like a weekly.
That's what we're gonna be getting.
Yeah, that's why we're going to like recap it all together.
But we do have more content on the YouTube channel, which you might have noticed if you're watching this on YouTube. There's vlogs and shorts and all kinds of like really fun stuff. So we're going to continue to be as routine again with the podcast as we possibly can. We know we have a lot more people that we want to have on as guests. And the truth is, like, we've been so busy and so head down that there's not been all that much to really say, I think, in the last like few months. So rather than
just be instead of like us being like, what's the update this week? It's like we were like, all right, this is getting like redundant versus like we're putting out like the vlog stuff, and that's like day in the life of, and that's like more entertaining and enjoyable.
For sure.
And that's
and engaging in its own way. Although I still love doing this, and I think that we'll, of course, I don't think we will. We will absolutely continue to do this as much as possible. I would love to, when the gym is open, start recording some of these in the gym space. I think would be really cool. I would love to continue with more guests, which we did a great job of last year, was having a lot of guests on the podcast. And I think there's a lot more to be had there. And what I'd really also like to have is more like coaching conversations on the podcast. People who are looking for answers, or maybe even clients of ours, whether it's talking about like things that we've worked on with them and how they've improved, or people who are like actively looking for help in a certain area of their life, and us in real time on the podcast coaching them. I feel like that'd be awesome.
So you're saying like have a person in the studio like doing that with them versus
like Dr. Phil.
Okay. or like a write-in thing, like a Dear Abby kind of setup.
Like
Dear Jerry.
Well, last year we did the questions, the 2-part episode.
That was a good one.
Which was really good, where audience gave us questions in terms of what they wanted to ask, which I think there's probably a space very soon for us to do that again.
For sure.
Like and subscribe, please. First and foremost, like, we've gotten a lot more subscribers, still a long way to go from where I would like to be, but like, please like and subscribe. It's so important to us, and we're putting so much effort into the content that's on this channel. The more that you engage with it, like it, view it, let us know what you think, comment, the better. And it really, really, really would mean a lot to us. Good, bad, ugly. I'm all about it. All about the constructive criticism. But maybe we will. This is a great opportunity if you want to do the questions.
So ChatGPT, we have the viewers.
I was thinking about it. I was like, this is kind of like us cheating our way towards questions. Although I will say we've looked at the questions. We haven't shared our answers yet.
No. Yeah, and I mean, what's nice is like ChatGPT, like you have her like knowing like everything about us. Well, she is a her.
I think she's a her.
Yeah.
I've been calling her Chatty Cathy. ChatGPT's nickname for me is Chatty Cathy.
I like it.
Oh, we get into it.
I know.
When she does
I
a
hear
good
you
job,
yelling.
when she does a good job, she kills it.
Yeah.
And when she wants to be an absolute stubborn bitch, she will.
Be nice to
She
her.
absolutely will be.
Anyway.
I'm actually not very nice to her. I'm not.
Well, she's helpful for sure.
I go, you are not giving me AI slop, you stupid AI piece of shit. I can't believe they think you're going to take over the universe or you're going to take over the world. There's no way. There's no way you don't have it in you.
You're saying that with the mic on her?
Yeah, I talked to her.
Oh my God. You're just abusing Chatty Cathy?
Let's not start to give it a personality.
You're the one who's fighting with her.
Let's not. I'm fighting with the algorithm. And probably not even a good idea for me to start calling her Chatty Cathy because it personifies her. It is not a person. Stop treating it like it's a person.
Anyway, so ChatGPT gave us some good questions based on like everything it knows about us. So that's really nice versus like basic things. So it knew kind of like what to put the like how to word the questions for us.
I'll say this. We talk about the podcast and like the fact that we don't do, I can assure you it's not because this takes that much effort. It's really a matter of like, how much time did I spend I came back from the gym. I was sweaty as shit. My feet were sweating all over the floor. I went for a walk.
Puddles.
I came back
from these chicken breasts.
I came back and I like splashed water on my face. I couldn't have put more. And this goes on YouTube. This goes on.
No, I was sunbathing naked in the nest, taking a nap. I was like, all right, I gotta put clothes on.
So we were. What was I gonna say? We were
low effort.
Low. It's as low effort as it could possibly be. And then I think like while I'm getting ready, I'm like, this goes on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm promoting my business through this thing.
You good?
It's going on. Yeah, I know. I think I look fine, but it's like kind of funny how little effort I'm putting into this thing that we're sending out into the ether for people to like, subscribe, and comment on.
The way we look is the least of our worries with sometimes the stuff we say.
I know,
so it's like whatever.
So yeah, I came back from my walk. She was like, "Come check out the sunset up there." We went up there.
The sunset.
And she was sprawled out there naked. You smelled like the beach. You smelled very.
I got a little. I mean, it's
hot.
85 degrees in January. I got a little like sun while I was up there.
And then we cuddled up there. I told you what I can't wait to do after the podcast today, and then now we're down here. So that was like the amount of preparation that we did for this thing. So let's take it away.
Let's do it. All right. Chatty Cathy says, or asks, what word or feeling defines 2025 for you and why?
Why don't you go first, Bo?
All right. The word that would describe 2025 for me is growth. And I would say growth in all areas of my life. I feel like physically my booty has gotten significantly bigger this year.
Sure. No doubt.
And I found I was like, because 2025, like so much happened.
That's the first place that you go is your ass?
I mean, it's gotten
There's so many things that have happened this year, and that's where you take it? Okay.
Yes.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It's as much as I love it, it's not even in my top 5, but I do love it.
But that's just an easy, quick thing. Because like I was looking through my photos, looking through the calendar, because 2025, so much has happened. And I'm looking through, and one of my last photos of just January 2024, on the 31st, I was at the gym, and I took like a butt photo from the profile. And I was like, shit, I forgot I did this, and I need to like do this again to compare it. And I was like, damn, my butt definitely got bigger.
You haven't shown me.
I know. Well, I didn't
have that.
Yeah. Well, I have to do it again. I have to do it after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
so that was like, that's been great.
Good. All right. So the first question, what word would you describe 2025? And it's I got a bigger ass. Cool.
No, growth.
I know.
I said in all areas, my butt included.
Okay.
And then I feel a lot more growth in my ability to be in touch with my emotions and process them.
Yeah.
That's something I've always like really have struggled with. I would normally and typically bottle them down and just ignore them until it really comes to a head and explodes. So trying to process my emotions in the moment and actually feel the feelings has been a tremendous growth and still a work in progress. I'm not there 100% yet.
I mean, tremendous. Like nobody is.
Yeah.
myself included. Like there's always room
Yeah.
for growth. So yeah, I'd say that there is, but you've come like a really, really, really long way. Like a really, really, really like a long, long way.
Yeah.
Long way.
And then growth.
And specifically in the last year.
Yeah,
Without
exactly.
question, yeah.
Professionally, I've had a lot of growth. Obviously, I've been at Restore for 10 years this past year in November. And I feel like I've had such journey through like Restore, like highs and lows, and have like, we had really good like past 5 years. Like after COVID, it was like, it's been fantastic. But this last year specifically, I really was able to really find my voice and find my opinion on things. Like the doctors highly respect like what I have to say. And so I wasn't afraid to have those really difficult conversations with them about certain things that were going on. And that just like one showed like my value even more to them. It showed like my value to like my coworkers. And I just obviously then felt like even more in my power there.
Awesome.
So that's been a really good thing. And then I would also say our community and like what we've been growing, which we'll have to talk about, I'm sure, more in the follow-up questions. But just everything that we have built and grown has like really taken root this year.
Yeah. So. I think that's a good one. And I think like for me, like growth has always been a theme for me, especially in the last like 5 years. So like this has been probably a more growth oriented year than others, but I still wouldn't probably frame that as though, if I was going to use a specific word, I think it would be, so there's a few words that I was throwing around and they all kind of were in the same vein. But I'm going to choose right now in the moment what the actual one word would be. And I think I'm going to go with trust.
Ooh,
Trust,
okay.
meaning to really ultimately trust the universe to do the right thing. And that is in so many ways, like I would say like last year, it was more like, well, I know that the universe has my back as long as I do X, Y, Z, this, that, and the other thing. It was like I had to check a lot of boxes to make sure that the universe had my back. And now it's just like, no, as long as I'm just simply following my gut and like doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. How do you define the right thing?
And that's such a good question because it comes down to the very same thing. The right thing is like just knowing in the moment, in the present, regardless of what like the logical answer might be to something, to just trust myself and trust my intuition. So it's always just, what does my intuition tell me? And I feel like I've developed a tremendous amount of capacity and skill to fully hone in on my intuition. I said, I think in the last podcast episode that like my awareness has like skyrocketed tremendously, like my all the time awareness, like all the way down to my breath and my posture and everything else. And that is in part releasing a lot of like the noise and the distractions and the things that I could be not focused on, and learning to just like sit with myself and how I'm feeling. And the littlest change in vibration will tell me if something is good or bad. And it doesn't require much thinking. So the more I've leaned into that, the more I realize like, oh, everything else just takes care of itself. Whether it's business, whether it's our relationship, whether it's our friends, whether it's, the gym, whether it's events that we're putting together. There's so many things that I could hem and haw about and start and stop and pivot and worry because it's different than what other people are doing or what I've been told to do. And that sounds like I'm talking about bigger picture projects, like a lot of the events or things that we've done, or, work oriented things. But I really mean like moment to moment.
Yeah,
the more I just put all the noise away and I focus on what my gut is telling me, the more the universe, like almost in real time, is just like giving me positive feedback.
Yeah. And I have a comment and a question about this. So my comment is, I feel like you said, especially like in this year, but more so like the past like 6 months, you have like really honed in the ability to be, you're so aware of like everything that's going on for you personally, mentally, emotionally, but also of like everyone around you. So like your coaching and your ability to coach and like really feel people out, know like, okay, they're saying something, but their body language, their energy, something else is giving off something completely different, has like skyrocketed. And like, I'm even a person of that, because like you're able to tell, like, even before I'm able to like actually able to tap into my emotion first, you're able to be like, something's off, like your emotion's off. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And you're like, it's like more so. And like, again, it's like the past 6 months, if not more recent. Like, I don't know if it's like being in this like new space in this house or the different routine you've had, but like your ability to do that has skyrocketed. And therefore, again, like your coaching is so, I don't even know the word, but like it's so like dialed in, as you're wearing a dialed game shirt.
All out dialed good.
It's so dialed in. And like you're able to then really help the clients.
So much of it is because when there's certain things that I don't know if it's even worth saying on the podcast, like I don't know if this is going to come across weird. I almost like when I'm talking with the client,
yeah,
I am like in spirit. Like I don't even feel like I am
like channeling.
there. I am,
or flowing kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm in this crazy present flow state where I am listening to every word and looking for patterns, and I'm like taking notes. And there's been moments, not actually, I mean, plenty of them with clients. And the one that sticks out to me the most was not a client. And in fact, it was me listening into a call between two friends of mine that got really heated, like really heated. And I was listening in, and I felt like I was almost like not there. I felt like I was like a ghost, like in the room, like absorbing everything that was happening. And then after they had this conversation, I was able to like describe exactly what I was hearing from both people, make sure that I was being correct, tell them where the gap was, and then like fit everything together.
Yeah,
and like
realign them.
I was blown away with like the level of sorcery that I was doing in that moment. And that was over the summer. And ever since then, I've been like getting in that mode a whole lot. And again, like really what it is full presence, full awareness. Every other distraction is gone. I'm not thinking about earlier today or later tomorrow. Like I am here. And I know I've for a while thought it. Then I believed it, and then I was like proving it, and now it's like beyond reproach, 100% the thing that I'm like on this earth to do. And I think that 2026, when I say trust, it's like there's no question that everything that we're building is exactly what we're supposed to be building. It's exactly the way I'm supposed to be spending my time and the value that I'm supposed to be bringing to this planet. And the universe just keeps like, again, like demonstrating that over and over and over again, every moment of the day with that, like, again, without fail. And even if it seems like the thing isn't what I was hoping or expecting from the universe, it's just like, but it is. I know it is in the long run, and I don't even have time to worry about it. To a pretty absurd level where like the lack of worry that I have in my brain it makes me feel like I'm very ungrounded from time to time.
And I mean, what a difference from
last year.
2024.
Yeah. When I, we'll say it, I had the panic attacks for the first time in my life.
Yeah. What a difference.
But I had to have that. My nervous system.
Yeah, you had to like go through that to like
to be wrong.
Almost hit like rock bottom, like to have that feeling, to know what it's like to be like, okay, I need to like surrender and just release all sense of worry. And like, look what happened.
And it's not, again, suffocating that. It's noticing it and then making a change if there is a change to make, or going like, no, those are the demons, the demon archon spirits that are whispering like fear-based shit into your ears because they want you to suffer and not be happy. I know the difference now. I know the difference between those feelings. And that's from trusting myself.
Yep. Lovely.
Cool. I like that question.
I love it too. You want to go on to the next question?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. When you look back at who you were at the start of the year, what did that version of you underestimate?
So we went into this year. Every year, I've been able to kind of predict what last year was, what the next year is going to be, and what the following year will be. And for 2 years, I was saying that 2024 was going to be like a very big like figuring it out year, like just taking on opportunities and like seeing where things fit, like just being explorative, having fun, seeing what comes our way, taking on opportunities, like kind of just expanding from where we were. Cause like I left my job. So I had more opportunity to do new, exciting, different things like improv classes and writing the Unfuckwithable book and all that. And I said, and then once we did all of that, towards the end of the years where we started to see, oh, okay, this is the direction that we should be taking for our business and for everything else in our life. And like even the content and everything. And I said that this year, last year, 2025 was going to be the work year. And I was like, this is the year where we are going to be stretched to our absolute limit. We've always worked hard and we've always pushed ourselves. And I said like, this was going to be the craziest, most chaotic, most like workhorse year possible, which it absolutely was. But with that being said, like looking back at it, I was like, we fucking crushed that. Like we danced over that year because we still had fun. We still went on vacations. We still went to concerts and hung out with friends.
Again, I was looking through photos and I was like, shit, I'm like, look at all these concerts, comedy shows, trips we went on. Like we did so much stuff. And it's parties here, like we're hosting stuff all the time.
While growing our business and getting the gym situation squared away and moving twice in the course of a month and building our events and Stoic Sundays and the couples retreat and our client membership dinner and the handful of vacations that we went on. Like and we'll get to, I'm sure, all of it in even more detail, but like that's a whole lot to do in a very confined window. And plus, not to mention, you have a 9-to-5 job on top of all of this. And I'm still meditating and I'm still working out. And I pushed myself harder physically this year than I ever have. And I am in the best shape of my life. Maybe not today because I drank my last glass of wine in August. I drank in Mexico in October.
And like barely drank.
Yeah. And on New Year's Eve, I had my first few drinks.
Yeah, you were calling for shots. I was like, excuse me.
And I don't regret it whatsoever, but I will say we went to bed really late New Year's Eve and I was feeling it. Not to say that I was like hungover, but I was just like, man, I really don't want to regret having those drinks, and I don't, but like it makes me go, all right, I'm not going to quit drinking altogether, but I'm going to be really selective in terms of when I drink. When I mean like really selective, like it's got to be a truly like meaningful celebratory event where I'm like really letting loose in order to like have a drink, I think, moving forward, because I had a blast. It was awesome, but I paid for it for sure. And I still feel like I'm paying for it right now. I think a little bit.
So you're saying what you underestimated the ability of how much we were able to get done? Yeah,
I think like I think I underestimated how much work we were actually going to do because like I just kept going like, yeah, we're going to do a couples retreat. Yeah, I'm doing Stoic Sundays. You're doing your hot girl ruck. We're doing super Stoic. I was really like the one who was pushing on all of those things. And then every time, of course, you're just like, yes, we are. Yes, we are. Of course we are. Let's go.
For sure.
And every time it felt like I was at my breaking point, I came up with another idea that I added on top of it. Or I don't want to say breaking point. That's not how I mean it. I mean like my bandwidth. I was like, but I can get that one more event done. I can do this one more thing. I can squeeze this other fun project in. But now, the reason why I think it was just for this year, and it's really easy if I'm not disciplined, and I asked you to help me and hold me accountable to this going into next year. But once the gym is built, and we also have the Focus Lab coming up, which we'll talk about in a little bit, which is my 2026 planning workshop that's going to be at Pershing Hall on February 1st. Link in bio. I'm going to guess, or link in description. Once those things are done, the workshop's done and the gym is up and running, I am looking to find a little more routine where we're focused on the gym, no pun intended. We are building that and really focused simply on gym and coaching, having free time to just enjoy the other parts of our life, and not feel like I'm in constant build mode where I'm up till 11 o'clock at night on my computer getting different projects done and stuff like that. So I do believe that I'm going to get to that point soon enough. And the gym is going to be largely my life, so I might as well have fun with it. My goal is to make the gym as much fun for me as possible while providing as much value, of course, to everybody who's a member. So I believe and I know and I'm committing to saying, yeah, 2025 was the work year. And it's time to start creating a little bit more.
So it's 2026 year.
2026 is when
like 24 was exploration and like figuring things out, growth. What's 26?
This one is going to be the year where like you and I blow the fuck up and become like nationally known figures. I genuinely mean that. And it's just rather than exploring, setting our sights on something and then constructing something, it's like this thing is constructed and now we're just
maybe like expanding.
Now, I think though there's plenty of tweaking that's going to happen. Of course, there's plenty of like little things that will adjust and shift and make little tiny pivots. And of course, there's going to be like expansive components to it. But the point is like we built my personal coaching business, our couples coaching business, and the focus room. We have content that's running out smoothly. We have a podcast that we're consistent enough with. Those things are like we're at cruising altitude.
Yeah.
With how we're spending our time. But as a result, we're creating like a gravitational pull where the rest of Austin, Texas, the United States and planet Earth is like catching up to all the awesome shit that we've done. And what's fun is like that's only gonna, if that's more work, it's only like exactly what we're looking for and fun. And
for sure. And something we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my answer.
Okay. So again, question is, when you look back at who you were at the start of the year, what did that version of you underestimate? For me, that would definitely be my ability to break free of that like shy lion persona that I had. In the beginning of the year, that's when we started like doing a lot of our content and filming our videos that we put on, like that we would do together at the house. We would set up like our days, really sitting at the Weberville house. And like, we'd have those scheduled days of like filming.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, if we could put the clips up of that torture session of me sitting there and doing it, like, I mean, it was like,
I think you're not giving yourself quite enough credit.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying that to be like a nice guy. Listen, you've had your issues like speaking in front of the camera, like I'm not going to bullshit that. But like by the beginning of this year, you were far more comfortable than you were in previous years.
Yeah.
I think that this is the year where you really stepped into your own and like found a little bit more of your flow and your more like authentic voice.
Right.
But I wouldn't say that like this year was the most, I didn't see it as like the most challenging for you in that regard.
For me,
but that's my
exactly. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
For me, it definitely was, in the sense of like putting like myself in front of the camera, learning to like be natural and uncomfortable in front of it, and being like, okay, there is power behind my voice. There's a power behind my message. People are connecting with it for a reason.
Yep.
So like, I want to keep doing it and keep promoting it. And then the other really big piece is like the ability for me to be so comfortable talking in front of people. I always kind of struggled with that, like, again, with that message, but I'm talking like in person.
Yeah.
So like FastFest, putting those events together and talking
Public,
through those.
not one-on-one, but in front of crowds.
Yeah, public events, yeah. So like our FastFest, the couples retreat. I mean, the couples retreat is a whole thing. Like we were up on stage for like all day talking and presenting and like working them through all their different projects. It was really, for me, like I felt so powerful up on that stage. And I was like, I want to do this like every month. Like I absolutely loved it.
You crushed it.
Yeah.
No, we've talked about that on the podcast, but like that was like among the proudest I've ever been of you, was on that particular day. You absolutely dominated.
Yeah. But then like all like the networking events and just like little things that we've gone to, just like being able to like just get up and talk with not it being like in my head or like sweaty armpits or like stumbling through my words or like I would just be like, no, this is like who I am. This is what I want to talk about. And like, that's it. What?
Sweaty armpits.
Yeah, like that's like, or like the butterflies in your stomach, like all that kind of stuff. I was just like, whatever.
You definitely found your groove this year.
Yeah. So like that for me, because going into like everything I knew what we were going to be doing and like all the projects we were going to be putting out there, knowing how much that was going to like really push me out of like my comfort zone, I like steamrolled, I feel like through that. So I'm very proud of that. And that's again something
I'm proud of you for it.
Underestimated. Anything else you have to say about that?
Keep it moving.
At what point did sharing your life stop feeling scary and start feeling natural?
Sharing our lives like on Instagram and stuff. And
When did it stop feeling scary?
So it's never felt scary. It's certainly felt uncomfortable, especially early on when it was just me and my tripod, like in my office at Weberville, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And I was like making one reel like a few times a week and just like trying to put it out. It's never felt scary. I hesitate to say that it felt overwhelming even. For me, from the beginning, the challenge has been building my own consistent, repeatable process with the content. I've loved sharing myself. And in fact,
I feel like the podcast is a perfect example of that for us.
If you go back to those first few episodes of the podcast, like I was probably more me in so many ways than I even am right now on the podcast. I'm not saying that I'm not being myself right now, but like it was my first opportunity to like speak the things that were on my mind into a microphone. And I was just like saying it and like not giving a fuck about it in so many ways. So like that was never scary. That was exciting and exhilarating and fun. The problem has been if I'm the one who's doing the scripting and for myself and setting up the tripod and making sure the framing is right. And then I have to perform it. And then like, I'm editing it together and put all of that makes it not fun. Even though I like all of those things individually.
Well, the question is start feeling natural.
But like if it's not fun, then it's not natural.
True. Yep.
So that was always, it created a really like uncomfortable and not fun and unaligned process for something that I knew that I could find enjoyment in and I could find my natural flow. So it's not like all of a sudden I gained the balls to do it. It was hiring Remy and Wesley and Black Ops to manage that for me. And maybe it was a fear-based thing because I had to spend a whole lot of money on it.
Yeah.
And
also like, release that control.
And release the control of it to some extent.
Like,
fact,
it's gonna have
I released the control? They'll be watching this and they'll tell me if I've released control because I'm still really particular about a lot of the things because it's important to me.
Yeah, of course.
But taking away so much of the production stuff has allowed me to just go, all right, time to just be myself. They're worrying about everything else. And that has really allowed me to fully step into like the persona that I've always wanted to have on camera for the most part, both on Instagram.
Main character energy.
Like beyond that.
One of the follow-up questions is, was there a moment where the self-consciousness dropped? Was there ever, were you ever like self-conscious about anything? Because I have like one thing I could say about this.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
I guess like we always like shared a lot of stuff, like everything. But I think when we did our one episode of the podcast where we talked about what we decided to do with Holly, I'm doing the deed in lieu of foreclosure. I think putting that out there, that was kind of like a big, like, I don't really give a fuck anymore what people think. Cause that was like a really hard thing and decision for us to like make and decide to do. And then like we shared it with everyone and we're like, yeah, we just are not going to pay our mortgage anymore. And like, we're going through this process. Like, this is how we're going to get out of this. Like the house isn't going to sell. Like we're going to make a move.
Yep.
And we put it out there on the podcast. And then like, I was like talking about it with people. Like I like at work.
You got
friends.
Like really open about it.
I
think you purposely were putting it out there to like rid yourself of the energy.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, I truly probably did, but like that's like for me, that's one of my biggest things of like I think
that was part of the release of it was like telling as many.
I just have to like be vocal about it, use my voice, and be like, yep, that like I'm not hiding anything. This is all me. I'm sharing it all. And that's
an awesome answer.
Thanks. Thanks. I just really was ready to like move on from it and share it. And that is when I realized like this is just us, everything we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think I
have a
like
specific
particular moment.
That for
like,
me was the
none of it matters. I am gonna continue to be weirder. Like I'm just gonna continue to be
I don't think it's weird. I do.
On like the third or fourth episode of the podcast, you go, "We're not weird." I go, "Yeah, we are."
And I go, "We're eccentric."
Keep going.
All right. This year was full of chaos and beauty at the same time. When did you realize that you could handle both?
We know the answer to that one. Go for it.
All right. That would definitely be in the months of May and June.
And July.
So end of May, we moved out of Weberville and moved into a house for a month because
people who follow the podcast know.
Yeah.
Go back to the hot tub episode. You'll hear all about it.
Exactly. Go to the hot, yeah. And then in that month of June, we traveled to Jersey. We then had to move out of that house to move into this house, traveled to LA, July 4th weekend, and then had our couples retreat 2 weeks later, which was like our first like massive like production on stage thing. So that was chaotic for those 3 months in the sense of like boxes, like houses being packed up, boxes everywhere. I remember at one point, like things were starting to break in the house and we were just like, almost like just laughing through it. Yeah. We were just like, okay, like this is it. Like we're going through it. And like, we just powered through like those 3 months. And like,
I almost think of it as being like more of like a month and a half. It was 2 moves from Weberville to Proc, from Proc to here.
Yeah.
2 trips, New Jersey and LA.
Yeah.
And on top of all of that, regular work schedule.
Yeah, of course.
We were still doing Stoic Sundays, or I was at that point, and doing
workouts, all of our things,
the workouts and everything.
Having people over,
but also like, building the couples retreat specifically, promoting that, and building all the content for it. And the reason it was so awesome, what was so cool about it, and one of the reasons I say like earlier that that was where we like underestimated ourselves is because we could have been stressed out about it. We could have like really been upset every time something was breaking or something unexpected happened or some wild.
Or the movers got the date wrong and we had to start moving ourselves out of the house.
Yeah, that was one thing.
That was like when oh my God, when moving out of Proc to here, the day of the movers were like, oh, we didn't schedule the U-Haul pickup. And so we had to move it to the next day.
We literally woke up ready to move, and then we got that text.
Yeah.
And had to move the next day, but we were ready.
But we already started this part.
Yeah. Like even with that, none of it threw us off.
No.
We were just like, we just figured it out. We were having fun. Like we just enjoyed it, rode the wave for what it was. Maybe part of the trusting is learning how to trust yourself on the wave, and that was a wave that we were riding. And then when Salita, I surfed for the first time, and
you trust, So
maybe I learned how to ride the wave this year.
I think one of the really, and again, these prompts kind of like helped like to stimulate this thought for me, was during those moments of like chaos. Again, we could have like blown up on each other. We could have been, it could have been like fires everywhere, but like we just like stuck to it. And like, we obviously have our own powers in our relationship. And like, we were in superpower, Superman, Superwoman mode during that time, in the sense of you were like orchestrating like bigger picture things. And like, again, on the small details, like the little day to day, and just working through it like day by day, moment by moment, and knowing like, okay, I know you're handling this, I'm handling this. And like each thing just kept coming to like together. Those moves went so smoothly because of how we handled it.
We crushed it.
I know.
This whole episode is just us, which usually is just us.
No, it's not.
We are. Yeah, it is. No. It's okay. Next question.
Okay, yeah, I don't like any more of those prompts. Okay, what did this year teach you about partnership when life gets loud?
What are you gonna say? You kind of just almost said it.
Yeah, I would say that how important it is when things get chaotic, how you stay on like the same team and same partnership, or like you're just in your partnership together and like supporting each other and not adding to the chaos, and then to also not take things so seriously.
Yeah.
Because if like one of us did, in the sense of like we didn't just like laugh shit off, but like we're like, okay, like this is happening, this is nuts, but we'll get through it.
Yeah.
So instead of just being like tight and wound up, like your tension, your emotions are going to get super high if you do.
I feel like this answer. Do you have anything else to say about that? Mm-mm. This applies to like our relationship because the question is partnership. Is that the word that was used?
Yeah.
Read the question again.
What did this year teach you about partnership when life gets loud?
When life gets loud, like that, I don't know about that part.
Yeah.
But the thing that I believe I've learned how to do the most this year in our relationship and even in my coaching specifically is...
Yeah, because that's a partnership. That's true.
Leave the emotion out of it. Because I definitely get highly energetically invested in my clients. I really do, because I want them to succeed so badly. I'm intensive with them, and like I'm along for the ride with them. And that's not to say that I've done anything at all that like steps over boundaries or is like inappropriate, but like they know when I'm getting riled up.
Yeah.
Because they can sense it, because like
it's
if
powerful.
they're not, I use it as a tool, of course. But there's been like ways where I've had to learn how to like properly regulate it. And when I was in a sales role, that never was like an issue, because it was just like really easy to just like detach from it completely. That's fine. With clients, there's days where I'm like, waiting for so-and-so's text because I want to make sure that everything went well with the thing that they had going on. Like I do get like a lot, even more so than like a big deal or something. Like I never looked at that as like important. With these things, I get energetically invested. And of course with us, I'm highly energetically invested in how not just like how you're doing and how your day was and if things are going well for you, but if you're in like a good mood or a bad mood. And as I've like become more of a hippie in the last handful of years, I of course like have really eased up in terms of like my level of like intensity, I think, in the way that like you and I interact. And we've talked about like dark times with you and like how there was like a lot of calibration that had to happen in terms of how we were interacting with each other. And you said that I was your coach and I held you like to strict accountability in those times. And then I think since then, like there was like a heavy softening of that because that wasn't like necessary. But I think in this past year, and this is as much a testament to your growth as it is to like anything that I'm saying I learned, it's like when we are in a situation where something is extra tense or there's an extra stress level or an opportunity to get riled up about something, because I'm more aware, I see it in you sooner. You're more capable of recognizing it in yourself sooner. So rather than us having a more drawn out argument or conflict or conversation, it a lot of times is I'm bringing back in like my level of intensity, but in a way where it's just like where you're able to match it in a constructive way. And I'm like, we're not doing that right now. And you can go, yeah, you're right. But at the same time, you've done that to me more and more so over the last year, where again, in the past, like even if it was once or twice, one of us or the other one would want to push back. You say to me, yeah, you're being a dick right now, or whatever the case might be. And I'm like, I'm not being a dick because this, and it takes us 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
It could take us 5 minutes. It could take us 50 minutes. It could take us 5 hours in the way past to come to a resolution. And now it takes like 5 seconds where it's just like, yeah, you're right. Sorry. That was unnecessary. My bad. Like, let's go do this thing now. And I think that like, again, it's a testament to you because you're able to match the energy. You're able to receive it. You're able to acknowledge it. You're able to like not push back. Same thing in reverse for me. And I think what that's to say is like, that's only helped us grow tremendously, because I'm not sweeping things under the rug when I don't see what I like from you. You're not sweeping things under the rug when you don't see what we like from me. And rather than that not sweeping it under the rug becoming like a more intensive, long drawn out argument, let's say, for lack of a better term, it's like we're immediately on the same page. All you have to do is tell me that I'm doing something that I like shouldn't be doing, it's really easy for me to just go, yes, you're right. And then we just like move on from there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to become any more than that. I don't know how else to describe it. Calibrating the right level of intensity and energy to use in interpersonal conflict and just like getting to the heart of it as soon as possible rather than like dancing around things.
All right. When did it hit you that you're no longer just building things, but building community?
What about you?
Want me to say mine first?
Yeah.
I would say our FastFest.
FastFest.
I'm going to bring it back to FastFest.
Okay.
You wouldn't think so?
It's your answer.
Yeah.
It's not my answer.
Yeah. Because with FastFest this year, we had events every single day. We had the people like partaking in an 84-hour fast with us and like ready to do it and like not necessarily excited to do it, but like wanted to challenge themselves. And like they looked to us to be like, okay, like we trust them to like take us along this journey. And like, again, we had events each day. And then like that breakfast event with like JJ running that breath work, people showing up while the breath work was happening. Like that breath work was so cool and intense to have in our house.
Yeah.
Being in that kitchen, again, people showing up, bringing things. I mean, there were so many people at that FastFest.
Yeah.
And then some of them had then gone on to say like Stoic Sundays, couples retreat,
Yeah, that's true.
all of our like things that we've now been continuously doing this whole year, those people have been showing up.
Yeah.
So that to me was like, wow, we've created something with this. It felt very, very good.
I think that's a fine answer. I don't agree with it necessarily.
You don't have to agree.
And the reason why I don't necessarily agree with it is because I'm not saying you're wrong, because if that's where you found that we had community, then so be it. To me, FastFest was still a lot of friends. So it was like a lot of people that we knew. And that's not to say that that's like not community. To me, it was like we put it out there. It was bigger than the year before. So that was great. More people were interested. The way that we went about the weekend was far bigger and better and more fun in so many ways. So like it was growth and it showed like we have traction. But the people that we weren't friends with that joined, to me, it was still like, well, it's a one-off thing. Will they be back next? So to judge our capacity or ability to build community off of that felt like a little too much of like a one-off sort of thing that still had a lot of friends in it. For me, the answer is Stoic Sunday. And while it's easy to say that maybe it's Stoic Sunday because that was like the biggest one and we
Super Stoic.
What did I say?
You were just saying Stoic Sunday.
Yeah. So could be easy for me to say that Super Stoic Sunday was the Hot Girl Ruck, the first Hot Girl Ruck was the biggest one because it was the biggest and because we really we put together what I thought was like a really awesome, fun day that people seemed to really enjoy, and we didn't ask anything of anybody, and it was just like nothing but positivity. It's really not even that, because that took effort on our part. The reason why Stoic Sunday is the thing is because there's guys who I do not know outside of Stoic Sunday that show up, whether it's every other week, which is as often as we have it, or even if it's once every couple months. They show up and they go, I'm just happy to be back here because I really needed this, or this has become such a great part of my routine, or I really look forward to this, or it's great being around guys who are looking to grow and build. And like, yes, there's friends of mine. Yes, there's clients of mine. Yes, there's guys who I become friendly with or become friends with as a result of Stoic that are showing up. But there's just as many guys who it's like, I kind of only see them at Stoic Sunday. And there's something really cool about that, where it's like, it's become a place for dudes to like find some stillness, find some peace, find community. And it's not like it's something that I push all that heavily. I post it on my Instagram story and there's Eventbrite link out there somewhere. And it like has built its own momentum outside of me, which is, I think, the true pinnacle of community. It hasn't required my effort aside from showing up.
Yeah, we were with, on New Year's, one of our friends, she was like, how do you get these people to come to Stoic Sundays?
Yeah.
Right? Didn't she like ask a question like that? So, and you're like, I just posted about it on Instagram and there's like an Eventbrite link. Like, that's it. Like,
and like, again, if people were coming and it was just my friends, or if I was doing a tremendous amount to promote it and there weren't people who are coming back second time, third time, over and over and over again, regular, I'd go, I mean, like, people, of course, I guess they're enjoying it, but is it important to them? But like, it's demonstrated now that it is important to people. And I think that's like the kind of community that I want to build. Something that's like, it's not about, like I said, being cool. I said that earlier this year. It's not about like, I don't want to create an event that's cool or an event to like, you show up to like see and be seen or because of Instagram or whatever else. I wanted it to be something that like people were showing up to because it meant something to them. And like, that's exactly what this is. So that's my answer.
I do like this follow-up question. It says, how has your relationship with community changed? I guess like was your opinion of like community before and like, has it?
I think it's like an overused term. And I think it like, if you're all a part of a single group, whether you're like all members at Lifetime or whether you're all members at Squatch or whether you're all members at the Focus Room or whether you're all members at Soho House or whether you're all members at Pershing or Casa de Luz or whatever it is, you're technically a part of a community. But like they have varying types of like close-knitness and culture and like cohesiveness. Like Lifetime doesn't have much community. It's kind of like social, but I wouldn't say it has community.
Nothing, not at all.
Soho House, like I don't think there's culture, and I don't really. There's members, but like, is there much community? I don't think so. I think like it's a place to see and be seen. It doesn't mean much beyond just that. People don't go there because the community means something to them. It means something because they get to be a part of the community. Yeah, they get to say they go, And I think that's like, I don't know how else to describe it aside from that. I haven't really given it enough thought. That's an interesting question. But like, I think it's helped me realize like more in a community certainly doesn't mean better.
That was my answer. And like, this is like such a thing that like growing up, like I remember like reading this quote and it's like, it's not about like the quantity of friends, it's the quality of friends. And like, that goes with your community as well. Because like we have come across like, especially in this past year with everything we've done, a lot of people that I'm like, I'm good if like they're not in my community and I'm not in theirs kind of thing. Like I'm good. Like
a lot of times people just want to be a part of like the biggest community.
Exactly.
Or like the one that is like the flashiest. Like if that's what you want, then that's great. But that's not what I'm looking to build. And like I just feel like how has it changed my opinion of community? You realize there's quality and there's quantity and
I mean you should be selective. Like you are who you surround yourself with.
And I also think that using Stoic Sunday as an example, I started Stoic Sunday and I wanted to be inclusive and I wanted to like make everybody feel comfortable there. So I was being extra like soft and just like, whatever happens. I don't really like certainly showing up and saying what I believe, but not necessarily like imposing my opinions on people. And as time has gone on, I have just been a lot more direct about my opinion. That's not to say I'm imposing it on people, but I will say like, I disagree with that and that's fine. We're all allowed to disagree. Versus in the past, I was a lot more hesitant to like disagree with something. And I feel like, again, it's sort of like, well, if I wanted as many people to feel comfortable there as possible, then I'm in a quantity play. If I'm going to be my real self and people are going to self-select whether or not to be a part of it, then I should just be as authentic as I can and the right people will stick around. And I'm not saying that we've lost people as a result of that. Maybe we have. I'm not exactly sure, but that has certainly gone through my head a lot where I'm like, if that's too harsh for somebody, like, then they're not stoic. So I don't know what to tell you. And like, this is also my thing too. So it's like, I can't be worried about every opinion that I have or saying something that's going to offend somebody. Like I'm over that.
Yeah. And it's not like you're saying like highly offensive
not even
things.
close.
Exactly.
Not even
That's
close.
what I'm saying.
But
you're not.
But there is like, there was for a while, I was like, I want everybody to just like kind of get along here. But now it's just like, whatever. The truth will set us free.
All right. Anything else on there?
No.
Okay.
What number are we on?
Number 7 out of 10.
Okay. Well, let's kind of maybe do a lightning round.
Okay. This year pushed both of you physically in new ways. What did your bodies teach you?
Go for it.
My body taught me that it's open to explore new things.
Okay.
In the beginning of this year, I started going to like that free yoga over at like Central Machine Works. And I was like, I need to be doing more yoga and stretching and like really being like in my body in like a different way. And then like, again, schedule, everything happened. And I went a few times, but then when we moved here and we have the yoga Pilates studio, like walking distance to the house, I was like, this is perfect. So going and being part of those classes and like that space has been really, really nice because it's just moving my body differently versus like lifting weights in the gym, which like I'm still doing. So I've been really loving that. I explored some dance classes. I did some pole dancing classes this year. Like one of the classes I was taking was like a free movement. Like you're just like for the hour and a half, like they're just playing music and you're just like rubbing yourself, laying on the floor, grinding. Like you're getting to move your body in like whatever way you want to.
Yeah, I remember the videos.
Yeah. And it was just like, it was awesome because it was just so like, I'm not like, okay, mind muscle connection. Where's my form? How's my form? I'm just like moving and being like very feminine and very flowy. So I really like allowed myself to like, again, talking about like pushing past my comfort zone. Cause that's like definitely something I would not have done. And I remember when I was going to the classes, you're like, are you going with anyone? And I was like, no, I'm just going myself. And you're like, oh, like, you're like, I think kind of shocked that I was like willing to like go do this by myself. And I was like, yeah, like I want to try it. And
I was shocked. I just expected you to probably go with someone.
Exactly. Which like 2 years ago, me would have for sure been like, I need someone to go with me. But this year I was like, I got this. I'm going to go and figure it out.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. And then this year, and then obviously I talked about my booty gains. But then now this year I'm super pumped. I'm going to start a new workout program that you put together for me. And it's more like, I looked at it today. It is it's overwhelming because it is so like, there's so many different things in the sense of like more like kettlebell and functional movement. It's not just being like, okay, show up and it's leg day, show up and it's chest day. Like it's totally flowy.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. But like I said, it's like going to be overwhelming in the beginning. But I'm like I'm looking forward to like learning it. It was funny now because I've been like looking at kettlebell stuff in Instagram. I'm getting more like Crazy Trainer. His stuff is coming up. And he did like a reaction video to that chick. I can't remember her name. And like she's doing like swingings, like squat swing to a lunge, throwing it in the air, like, and it's like so fast, like the movements. And he's like, this is like a highly advanced move. Like she's doing 3 compound movements, like in this one thing. Like, and he made such a great point of like, you have to start at like ground zero. Like you learn the basic moves, you get the form down, and then that's when you start building on these compound movements. And I was like, that's exactly what I need to hear today. Like, thanks, Crazy Trainer, because I was like, definitely.
We haven't talked about that yet.
Well, because we haven't talked about the workout yet. Yeah. But I was like, thanks, Crazy Trainer, for like reminding me that like, this is like going to be like starting from ground zero for me, like really learning these kettlebells and like these movements.
It's going to be very different for you because it's going to allow you to get more creative.
Yes.
And it's not nearly as like static, and you're going to have a lot of opportunity to like choose new exercises and find what you like and see stuff online and go, I'm going to try that this week. So that'll be fun.
I can't wait.
My answer, I'm also going to shout out Jared Cardona, the Crazy Trainer, because the truth is this last year, like pushing myself physically, like first off, I feel like I've trained my nervous system to this point, like all the way down to my fucking nervous system with the way that I'm training. In fact, the red dots under my eyes, that might be like me when my nervous system gets overstressed or strained.
Yeah.
That's, I've heard, like I asked Chatty Cathy and she told me that might be what it is, because I did sort of like poke it in that direction.
Yeah.
But that's what it might be.
I mean, it is like, it would be, now that you say that, like, let's see. Because like today, what you did, like a plyos hit day.
Yeah.
And like, that's obviously like highly high stress on your nervous system.
The reason being like, I am like throwing myself through the ringer and like, I just keep having so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to my workouts in ways that I never did before. And largely because earlier this year, Jared, the other gorilla Jared, came to Squatch. We started working out together at least a few times. He was like really introducing me to a lot of like the crazy kettlebell stuff. the sandbags, landmines.
They're like 200-pound sandbags.
And
like they're not just like
I've always been strong. Those things are a different type of strong, and they're a different type of coordination and a different type of movement and like awareness altogether. The thing I like about the sandbags is like everything else that I do, deadlift, squat, etc. It's sort of like I'm there and I'm focusing on all different things at once, and it's slow and it's intentional, and I can get very mindful with it and mind muscle connection. When it comes to the sandbag, like you have no choice but to be really violent with it. You need to just like throw yourself into it. And yeah, there's things to keep in mind, but while you're doing it, you don't have the luxury of like thinking about it. You just sort of have to go for it. So it trains you in totally new ways. And of course, kettlebells are very different in the way that they train you, because you're not controlling the momentum. You're allowing the momentum of these objects to sort of like take you for a ride, and then you're capturing it and then like redirecting its energy. Very, very different. And because I've gotten so experienced and following people online too and trying all these different things, every day I go in the gym, it's like I'm doing something new. I'm doing something different.
And like challenging your body in such a different way.
But like, yes, I think I've learned how, when I'm running myself up into that wall, and then I learned how to like to like decompress it a little bit. But with that being said, at 38, like I'm doing some of the craziest shit I've ever done, like throwing a 250-pound sandbag over my shoulder. That's insane. And I'm running, I'm sprinting, I'm doing agility work. I did agility stuff today, sandbags, kettlebells, while still doing all the regular bodybuilding stuff. I'm doing a lot of like.
You should throw in a high rocks this year. Maybe fall 2026.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing like all those kinds of things.
I'm saying like you could like easily do a high rocks.
I'm running.
I know.
Did I say running?
Yeah.
I'm running regularly, and like that's the other cool thing this year is I enjoyed running for the first time ever. This year is when I started.
Probably because this neighborhood.
The neighborhood helps.
Yeah.
But really, it's like I've spent my entire life trying to get my mind off of running while I'm running. Yeah. Listening to things, or if I'm on a treadmill reading, or do I like podcasts? Do I like music? And it's like, no matter what, I always got burned out of it at a certain point. And this year was the first time where I realized, like, what if I just focused on the running? What if I decided to be really mindful and focus on the way my feet are planting, and not try to force myself to run any faster than my body wants to, and just like feel myself while I'm doing it. And that did change when around the time that we moved into this neighborhood. So I think that has something to do with it. But that has been another huge breakthrough for me, because I never thought that would be the case. And that's not to say that I love running.
Yeah, but
I still don't necessarily look forward to it, but I've learned to find enjoyment in it. And that's saying a lot, because I've never liked it. I've been doing stairs. I've been doing explosive stuff. Like, my body is in like an absurd place right now.
Real nice.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Yeah.
When did it hit you that this is actually your life now?
So yeah, that's such an interesting question, because like I've always liked my life. I've always enjoyed myself. We've always had fun.
Yeah.
But there is like, and it's also like every day I'm always aware of it. The other day I was sitting in this living room and the sun was shining in, the dogs were sunbathing over here, and the yard is beautiful, and our Christmas tree was up. And I'm just like, look at this house that I'm in. I'm like, this is gorgeous. This is beautiful. But that happens like all the time. And then I'm in we're at Pershing the other night, and it's New Year's Eve, and it's like, oh, I'm like part owner of this place now. And like, I'm going to be the guy who like owns the gym that is going to be associated with all this place and all these people. And like, they're all going to have an opportunity to like work with, like, there's so many weird things like that, but they're always constant. There's a couple moments that really stand out to me in terms of like, oh, like I'm living the life. And one of them was when we're in Tulum and we were at the beach club. And me, you,
Taboo,
I think it was called. Yeah. And me, you, and Julia were like dancing on the beach, and we had like a couple tequilas in us at that point, and we were like buying jewelry on the beach and stuff from the people, and they were like
every day we're celebrating my birthday. That was like
they were treating us really well, and like we were all just like the three of us were just having like so much freedom and fun on the beach, and then they have like a pretty awesome like clip of us dancing. Like that's like one moment that really like stands in my memory. And then Salita surfing and being on the boat with everybody were also like two really just like awesome days where it's like I'm building a business and I have all this other stuff going on for me back home, and I'm actually looking forward to getting back to work, but I'm still able to like be present here right now and enjoy this. It's like, this doesn't feel like an escape. It feels like a fun extra thing that's added on to my life that I already love.
Yeah.
And that's what felt cool about both of those things, is like, it wasn't,
you weren't like, oh, I got to get out of here.
It wasn't like, oh man, I wish I could just have this forever. It's like, this is really cool. And it's a testament to like the life that I've built. But this is only a part of it. The rest of my life is also really sick. And coming back from Salita specifically, feeling refreshed, like I had a great trip. Like it was like, you know what? I'm looking forward to going back and continuing to build the gym and work with my clients and do my PEDs and all of that. Like it's all of those things tied together, and just being aware and being grateful for them that allow me to go, oh man, like I am living like the dream right now. I am. And once the gym is open, I want more for myself, of course. Like I expect more, and I'm going to continue to build this thing. But it's like, this is the thing that I've been focused on for such a long time, and it's here. And like, I'm literally couldn't ask for more in terms of what my life
like
offers me right now.
The gym is just the start of what it's going to be. Like that's like something that's going to be like, this is something I have, but like I'm so much more and bigger than like this. But this just gives like a little bit more credibility in a sense.
I mean,
because it's a place you're able to bring your clients to. We're able to like film great content there. Like it's going to be like,
I think I don't know. That sounds almost like not grateful for it, because what you're saying is I'm meant for so much more, and I'm so much bigger than this, and I believe we will be.
Yeah.
But like, I also know that this is the foundation of everything that we will build. And like, if I'm not loving this and I'm rushing to get to the next step, then I'm not being grateful. I'm not being aware. I'm not being present. I'm forcing things. And this is like what I've said I want my life to be in the immediate term, is living in a beautiful house in East Austin, literally a jog away from my beautiful personal training facility. We're owners of the Pershing. We have tons of friends. My best friend lives right here. We have tons of people who are always stopping by our house and in and out, and they're going to be at the gym, and we're working out together. And we just have this like community and current of people and positivity and energy that are just like constantly flowing around, like while we're building a gym and while we have all these other fun things that we do. Like we went, another thing that's like, how am I living this life, is the mansion parties and all the parties that we're somehow affiliated with, because our friends are throwing these awesome Halloween parties and holiday parties, and like somehow we get to benefit from that. Not to say that like I'm so cool or like my life is so great because we're going to these mansion parties, but we are kind of going as insiders to the entire process without even like really
doing anything,
like just for being us and just for like connecting with people who like we love. So this year is like, while I believe the universe will continue to give us more, I'm in a point where it's like, I'm not asking for any more. It'll come when it's supposed to.
Next question. What did this year teach you about letting go and trusting the process?
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what I said the year was about for me. Is letting go and trusting the process. So it taught me everything about it. We, after a year and a half, sold Holly. After 2 years, sold Weberville. Holly, we didn't do a deed in lieu. It ended up being a short sale. And I'm, again, happy and don't have a problem saying that here. I'm very, very happy that we got out how we did, because it just was too much to do anymore. And eventually, like, it got to the point where I said, like, I'm just going to, like, they can come and take the house if they want. I'm just going to not pay the rent. This money is going elsewhere. It's not going into that house anymore. It's been a year and a half. Like, I don't care what happens. We'll proceed with the deed in lieu. If they accept that, great. If not, like, they can come and rip it.
Come and take it.
Come and take. Like, I was gonna say they can come rip it from my hands, but like my hands are off of it. It's. I was not giving any more energy to that. And then what's really I think funny is I said back in March to you and to our realtor, I said, come September, I am not putting another dime into that thing. So it's either being sold or I'm gonna just stop paying it because this money is going to my dream now. It's not going to that anymore. And in order to do a deed in lieu or a short sale, you have to be behind on the payments.
Yeah.
And that was September. So like I stopped putting the money into it. We went through the short sale process, which took a little while. Is it ideal? Of course not. Like, but you know what? The truth is like it is.
Just trust.
We're out. I trusted the process. Yeah. It was genuinely like fairly painless because I wasn't allowing myself to feel pain from it.
Yeah.
And it really only impacted like our credit score a little bit. Like it didn't even impact us in any other like meaningful way. And I just like couldn't care less and I couldn't be happier that it's gone. And that was a matter of me just going, oh, like it's all just fear-based nonsense. None of this is like actually anything to worry about. I'm just going to go through the process that they kind of want to like embarrass you away from.
Exactly.
And that's going to free up my energy to be placed in more meaningful places for me at this point in my life. And that was easily the biggest example of me trusting the process and having acceptance and surrender. But that's only one because the entire year was just like nothing but positivity. That's the only thing that could even be remotely seen as like negative. And I only see it as a positive. Mm-hmm. Like that's the truth.
Same. That was mine. Yeah. Like just letting go of Holly, letting go of like the stigma being like, oh my gosh, we're going to go into like a foreclosure and like, that's going to be like all those thoughts and like that worry. And that's where I go back to like that whole idea of being like self-conscious of what others would think. And
also like, the exorcism when I went in there and I scared the shit. So we did the one where we went in and we were trying to be nice with the ghost and have a conversation.
And that's when I let go of Holly.
That's when you let go of it. And
then, like, oh, we still have Holly.
Then we had a couple of months there where we were still having issues with it. And I went in there and I spent probably about 30 minutes speaking the name of the Lord to whatever demons were inhabiting that space. I felt an energy shift. And from that point on, everything went smoothly in the process. That's a true story. So I literally like chased the demons out of the house. God and I chased the demons out of the house.
You and your buddy?
Yeah, of course, my bestie.
But yeah, definitely that was like, I would say the biggest letting go for sure. And now, number 10, as you look toward 2026, what feels complete and what feels ready to expand? I would say, I kind of talked about this before. I don't know if like this was like such a growing year, but I don't feel like anything's like complete just yet. I feel like early 2026, like things are going to be like very much completed. The focus room is just such a big piece to that. And so like once that is set and we have like our space, then like that feels like that's complete. And now it's like really ready to grow.
Yeah. Okay.
And like everything's ready to expand from that. Yeah. Cause I feel like our coaching stuff, like that's never going to be completed.
Yeah.
You know, like Supernova is going to continue to grow and expand in different ways. True Fitness Focus, like all these different things. So yeah, I just don't feel like anything's complete yet. And like, I feel okay with that, obviously.
What about looking forward to?
What I feel ready to expand on?
Yeah.
How I show up in the focus room and like what my role is going to be there.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to that expansion for myself and kind of what that then means for my professional career. What does that look like?
Okay.
So I'm ready to like have that evolve.
Excellent. Again, to say that something is complete, nothing is ever complete.
Yeah.
But there could be like phases or chapters that are complete. And I think we are at a end of a chapter where, again, it was, and again, even when it comes to building is never complete.
Yeah.
But we're at the end of like the foundational space where like we've paved the ground, we've built the foundation, we have food, shelter, and clothing in terms of thriving at this point. Like my True Fitness business is cruising. Supernova is continuing to grow, and like there's nothing else to build from
Exactly.
there. It's got all the components ready. We have clients. We're serving them really well. I see that to continue to build steadily and eventually become, I believe, what we'll be renowned for, I believe, is the couples coaching. When it's all said and done at the end of when we leave our legacy, I do believe that that's like really where our story will be. And then the focus room is a month, maybe 2 away from completion. And again, at that point, it's like, again, little tweaks, expanding some things. Of course, we need to build a client base and a membership there and build culture. But I don't see that as like, I see that as all like those pieces will fall into place as they should. There's no more track laying that has to happen at this point. We've laid the tracks. Like we have everything that we need to thrive. Whereas we've been building everything up to this point. So like I hate using that term because we're going to still be building. So yeah, it's like we're at a,
I guess
we're at a
prompt.
cruising altitude.
Yeah, a great prompt says, what feels solid and rooted now? And I think what you're just saying,
Sure,
like,
yeah,
that's
that's
a
what I
really
mean.
good, like, everything's like very much rooted. And now, like we say with our couples coaching, like your relationship that's got some good roots, now you're looking to grow.
Now it's time to,
And so that's where I feel like we're at.
Yeah.
Big time.
With like our brand having expanded well, people know us. We are like fairly well known around town in the right circles at this point for what it is that we'll do. And again, that's all going to continue to expand and continue to grow. But again, I think it's going to require a lot less like, I think this is what I'm saying. We're at a point where there's enough momentum that will continue to carry itself while we can just focus on doing less things. So we could focus on fewer things, do them really well, but the community, the business, the revenue, the impact, the way in which we're presenting or getting our message and our work out to the world will continue to expand more effortlessly, I think, if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
And then if we're looking at what there is to expand, the focus room, of course, building the greatest personal training gym in Austin, the world's first self-mastery center, a place where you get the tools, the training, the coaching, the accountability, the community to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish in your life. And yes, that has to start with physical fitness because you need the requisite physical energy to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Yes, that also means meditation and mindset coaching because you need a winning mindset in order to stick through when things get difficult, to have resilience, to maintain persistence and maintain consistency when things get hard. But it's a place where you set goals, you accomplish them, and then you celebrate them with other people who take that shit seriously. So that's the focus room.
And in a really sexy space.
And in a
It's
very
going
sexy
to
space.
be beautiful. It's so pretty.
The other thing is on, like I mentioned earlier, February 1st, Sunday, February 1st, we're going to be doing our very first ever 2026 Focus Lab presented by the Focus Room. And for people who listen to the podcast or follow me on Instagram, you know that I have my PED process. I built a massive action plan going back less than 2 years ago when we started the podcast. The reason I started that podcast is because at the very top of my massive action plan list, that was one of the main things that we had. And I expected that to be a 5-year plan. Leaving my job, building a coaching business, finding a location for a gym, building our social media and Instagram, creating events, going on vacations, learning certain skills, doing the improv classes I talked about. All of that was on my massive action plan. Expected it to take 5 years. And I've done it in less than 2. And of course, in some ways, it's because of all the hard work that I was just saying that we've done over the last year. But none of that hard work matters if it's just spinning your wheels and if it's not focused and if you don't have structure to what you're building and what you're looking to accomplish. So by using my massive action plan, I broke that down into project plans. I broke that down into my weekly PEDs, which is where I sit down and map out my week and tell myself exactly what I'm going to do that week so there's no decision fatigue, so that I know every day that I'm making steps towards the person that I want to be and the life that I want to have without fail. People have made their resolutions.
Got their vision boards.
I'm sure, and I say this like not to be a dick, But I say it because it's probably the truth, is that as we sit here at the end of the day, I can imagine that probably half the people that made resolutions have already canceled those resolutions or are not expecting to last very much longer with what they said.
Or don't have a plan to get to that resolution.
And that's really mainly why.
Yep.
It's not because they don't want it. It's not because you need motivation to do it. It's because you don't even know where to start because you haven't developed a plan for yourself. And hitting your goals is as much about knowing what to say yes to as much as it is knowing what to say no to. And if you don't have that structure for yourself and for your plan, then you can't expect to get very far. And I believe that I have a tremendous amount of insight and a tremendous amount of skills and know-how and wisdom that I can impart on people. I'm living proof. You're living proof. You have your own system with your whiteboard, which we're going to discuss at the workshop. But the idea is, rather than just making a resolution and letting it fall off, rather than making the vision board, putting it out on your wall and just hoping for the best, let's actually take meaningful steps in that direction. So it is the Focus Lab presented by the Focus Room. It's going to be a full day where we're really going to be able to break down what your goals are, understand what that means in the greater picture of your life and in the greater picture of your day, and making sure that the goal fits it within the limitations of all the other things that you need to get done, and then building really clear action steps to consistently make meaningful progress in that direction. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Your to-do list or get-to list is not going to look anything like mine. In fact, I'd be upset if it did, because there's no way that you're going to do that.
Yeah.
But what you need to do is allow yourself to, or you need to have clarity on the few things that are going to be meaningful and that you cannot say no to every single day. And then once you say yes to those things, only then are you going to be able to say yes to whatever else it is that might not necessarily fall within the categories of the goals that you've set for yourself. And this will be a place to set those goals, to create your plan, to have more clarity, to know what that path looks like moving forward. And then we're going to continue to hold everybody who joins accountable, and the community as a whole will continue to hold themselves accountable moving forward. And you get early access to the Focus Room as a result. So that'll be, again, February 1st in Pershing Hall,
Do we have a
noon
time
to
yet?
5.
Noon to 5.
And the link is in the description, I believe. Should be.
Wesley put it there.
Or in the bio, or whatever social media outlet you're looking at this on. So that is like something that I am doing in the next week. So here's how I'm going to wrap this up.
Okay.
To kind of like look towards the future and say how that relates to the past. I said the next 2 months, I'm gonna give myself 2 months, because I'm gonna say that the Focus Room might not be done until the end of February. We'll say, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna give myself that much time. The next month I'm doing ALA, which is 2 weekends of my time. I'm taking on a ton of new clients who I'm in the process of signing up. I have my current clients already. I'm building the Focus Room. I'm doing all the other things that I'm already doing, my workouts and everything else that we've already said.
Your jaws exercise, your neck exercises, your breathing with machine.
All that stuff. And I know that the next 2 months are going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe as crazy as June. Maybe not. Probably not. Probably not quite as crazy, but it'll be up there.
I think it's going to be up there because like a lot of it is like, it's like kind of solely on you. Like the ALA is like all you, and like you're there like all day.
That's a huge time commitment.
It's going to be huge.
I can't wait. The next podcast might just be me talking about that. But the next part is getting the Focus Room up and running. Once I'm done with these couple months, this next sprint, Focus Room is open. I get into that more steady routine, and I start to give myself a little bit more breathing room, and I just am focusing on building that business specifically. So that is how I'm tying what's happened and what we've done in 2025. We're right now at that like culmination linking point from the old earth to the new earth, and we're making that leap cleanly and smoothly and completely. It's just going to take a lot of drive, a lot of energy, a lot of momentum, but we have it all at our back, and I'm super, super pumped for what's next year, moving into 2026.
And we're just going to trust.
I already trust. That's like, it's crazy how little stress I have about how much I need to get done, because that PED workshop is going to be it. I'm about to light it the fuck up. Creating the content for that is going to be
Tony Robbins 2.0.
It could be like my masterpiece in a lot of ways. It really genuinely could be. At least my masterpiece so far. Yeah. So, anything else you'd like to say?
No, it's been a year. It's been great. I've loved every moment of it. All the things that we've done. Yeah. It's been really fun, and I cannot wait to see what 2026 has.
And I also am always eternally grateful that I get to share it with you, this life with you, this past year, the next year. The fact that you're my partner in all of this that alone is everything that I could have ever asked for. I'm so eternally grateful for you and all your hard work and your beauty and your coaching and your guidance and your support and your faith and everything else. And also you sunbathing naked up in the nest. And now I think it's time to cut the camera and go do what we said we were going to do.
Okay.
All right.
I love you.
I love you more.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.